Excellencies, dear friends, good day to all, and thank you very much for coming on such short notice. I thought it would be useful to meet today and discuss our efforts at supporting our Ukrainian friends. I'd like to give you a short overview of what Albania is doing and discuss ways on how we can all work together to maximize our efforts, especially when it comes to diplomacy. These are very difficult and challenging times, very painful and tragic times too, that we hoped we would never see in the European continent. For us in the Western Balkans, this is especially painful, and the pain of our Ukrainian friends resonates in a particularly strong manner, because we still remember the terrible images from Bosnia-Herzegovina and from Kosovo, the last wars in Europe, as we thought. But not just that, but as a region that has long been seen by Russia as the soft underbelly of the European Union, as a region that has experienced Russian meddling and attempts to ferment tensions and conflicts, we do feel very strongly about what is happening. War has come to Europe. War has come to Europe on no provocation, for no rational reason. War has come because Russia, or rather its president and its leadership, in as much as its leadership can do anything without the president saying so, decided that they could not live with a peaceful and democratic Ukraine as their neighbor, and undertook an illegal war of aggression against a peaceful neighbor in blatant violation of all laws and norms that guide civilized behavior and the international rules-based system. Indeed, there is a case to be made that the desire to destroy the rules-based system is a strong motivator for Vladimir Putin. Russia chose to go to war, and I strongly believe that we all must do everything we can to make this terrible choice as costly for Russia as we can. I am proud that in this confrontation between democracies and dictatorship, between a free European people and a Russian tyrant, Albania is playing an important role, punching way above its weight and giving an important contribution, especially in the field of diplomacy. From the OSCE and NATO, where our proposals have been concrete and courageous, to the UN Security Council, where we are co-pen holders with the United States, our country is at the forefront of the efforts to support Ukraine and raise the costs and isolation for Russia. As you may have followed in the media at this moment in time, Albania has aligned itself fully with the European Union and is enacting in its territory the restrictive measures approved by the European Council against Russia for undermining or threatening the territorial integrity, sovereignty, and independence of Ukraine. We are currently completing the legal basis for the implementation of these measures, which will be passed at the Council of Ministers tomorrow. As you all know, there are two main categories of sanctions, economic and individual. We have approved sanctions relating to the freezing of assets of 654 individuals and 52 entities, individuals ranging from the President of Russia to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia, to members of the National Security Council of the Russian Federation who supported the immediate recognition by Russia of the independent entities of Donetsk and Luhansk, members of the Russian State Duma who ratified the government decision of the Treaty of Friendship, Cooperation and Mutual Assistance between the Russian Federation and these two entities. In addition, a travel ban on entry into Albanian territory has been imposed for persons listed by the European Union, while in regards to our visa policy vis-à-vis Russia, we are considering the annulment of all arrangements on the movement of Russian diplomats, officials, and business people. We've also joined the European Union's economic sanctions that include restrictive measures in finance, energy, transport, and technology. Yesterday, we also aligned ourselves and began enacting legislation to implement the Council decision on further restrictive measures related to finance and aviation. The restrictions include prohibition of any transactions with the Central Bank of Russia, as well as denial of permissions to land in, to take off from, or overfly EU territories to any aircrafts operated by Russian air carriers, including as a marketing carrier to any Russian-registered aircraft and to non-Russian registered aircrafts which are owned or chartered or otherwise controlled by a Russian legal or natural person. Furthermore, yesterday Albania joined the restrictive measures aimed at Belarus for its role in this war. Lastly, Albania will no longer participate in any sports activity facing the Russian Federation until the invasion of Ukraine is over. Where Albania's role has been particularly prominent in this joint effort is to support Ukraine in the Security Council, where we have just begun our 2-year mandate. As co-pen holders for Ukraine with the United States, we've joined forces with other like-minded countries to table and negotiate a draft resolution asking the Russian Federation to withdraw its armed forces from the territory of Ukraine and putting an end to the aggression against this country. Our joint efforts produced a positive result. The draft resolution initiated by the United States and Albania was co-sponsored by 81 countries or member states, thus consolidating a broad and unified front in support and in solidarity with Ukraine. Of course, Russia's veto blocked the adoption of the resolution in the Security Council, but as you all know, that was not the end of the road, and the resolution is being discussed with the whole world in the General Assembly, where we are optimistic that owing to the efforts of all of your countries and many more, this resolution will turn into an exercise demonstrating the commitment of the world to the UN Charter and to the basic principles of the rules-based system that we have agreed to respect, and demonstrating for all to see how isolated Russia is in this illegal act of aggression. I've also instructed all Albanian teams in the UN, in OSCE, Council of Europe, Human Rights Council, and any other international or regional forum to adopt the same proactive approach in support of Ukraine and in the denunciation of Russia. I believe that it must be made clear to the Russian Federation and its leadership that nothing will be as it was. No sector, no field of activity can be business as usual until this aggression stops and the Russian troops leave Ukraine. Albania is doing everything it can to the best of its abilities and capacities, and I know that your countries are doing too. The reason why I invited you here today is to explore what more we can do, how we can improve our cooperation even more so, and how we can create more synergies at any level as we address this crisis that does not simply threaten Ukraine, but threatens all of us. And on that note, I'd like to draw your attention to our region and the possibility of tensions here as well. For too long, we've been calling on our partners, especially the European Union, to be more strategic in their relations with the Western Balkans. Events in Ukraine are proof that our concerns are justified. This makes it very clear that the cost of isolation is far higher than the cost of integration. And I can only hope that in the aftermath of the invasion of Ukraine, something will change the dynamics of the relations between us, that there will be more focus and more urgency to move ahead with the integration process, and above all, to move ahead and meet ahead any Russian attempts to ferment trouble. I am pleased that the signals we are getting now demonstrate that the EU is focused now as it has not been for a while. I'm pleased because I know that if the EU is united and committed, if it shows the same resolve as it is showing in support of Ukraine now, our region, the Western Balkans, will no longer be vulnerable to attempts to stir trouble and strife, and the security of Europe as a whole will benefit.
Your Excellency, Minister of Europe and Foreign Affairs, Ms. Olta Xhaçka, Your Excellencies, dear colleagues, ambassadors, it is a great honor to be in the Ministry of Europe and Foreign Affairs today, together with you, the representative of the countries that unconditionally support Ukraine in its struggle with the aggressor. I am sure that all of you are closely following the events in Ukraine, and you have a lot of information to understand all the dangers, not only for Ukraine, but for the whole of Europe and the world. But I want to tell you that it is not transmitting news feeds. This is the spirit of the people and the army that united around their president in the urge to defend their homeland to the last. From yesterday, President has support 19%. The economy, in particular the banking sector, is working properly. Despite shelling and provocations, the state's energy and electricity systems are operating stably. However, at least hundreds of thousands Ukrainians have already left their homes. Tens of thousands Ukrainian refugees have arrived in Moldova, passed through the border checkpoints from Ukraine to Poland. Our citizens are received by Slovakia, Czech Republic, Romania, and Hungary. Albanian citizens also reaffirmed their readiness to accept Ukrainian refugees. On February 27, the EU discussed, among other important topics, the issue of expanding assistance to refugees affected by the conflict in Ukraine. Romania, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovenia, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, Albania have joined the countries whose governments have already closed their airspace to Russian air carriers. We thank the governments of Germany, France, Italy, and all other countries which, according to the German foreign minister, have turned 180 degrees. Strong aid from the United States, Great Britain, Sweden, constant support from our immediate neighbors, the Baltic countries and Poland. I would especially like to note the fact that yesterday, February 28, President Volodymyr Zelensky signed an application for Ukraine's accession to the EU. As ambassador of Ukraine in Albania, I would like to emphasize the position of the government of Albania and personally of the Prime Minister Edi Rama in support of Ukraine. My thanks also go to the President of Albania, Ilir Meta, the Speaker, Lindita Nicola, to you, Madam Minister, and to Minister of Defense, Nico Pelesci. We are grateful to everyone for their support and solidarity. I would like to take this opportunity to ask you to make further requests to your governments, because I think that no one has any doubt that the aggressor can simply be convinced. Make a démarche to the ambassador of the Russian Federation, impose an embargo on Russian oil imports, maximally promote the practical application of Russia's disconnection from the international banking system SWIFT. For Russia, it means billions and billions of losses and constitutes a practical price for this invasion to our state.
Thank you, Foreign Minister, for inviting all of us to this important discussion. I think, as I look around the table, I'm trying to discern what it is that brings us all together. Many of us here are members of NATO. Many of us are members of the EU. Some of us are aspiring members of the EU. But all of us, I think, recognize that we are at an historic moment, that the threat, the assault, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia poses a threat to all of us and to the international system that we and our forebears have worked for decades to build from the ruins of World War I and World War II. It's very clear also that in our capitals we are responding to the occasion. We are rising to the occasion in ways that we might not have anticipated. And I think we are surprising even ourselves. The speed, determination, resolution, seriousness, and sacrifice. This is not without sacrifice, with which we are responding, coming to the defense of Ukraine, but also coming to the defense of our way of life. And so I would like to express U.S. appreciation for Albania's role on the Security Council as our co-penholder on the Ukraine issue. To all of you for your cooperation and your contribution. And again, we recognize that your cooperation and contribution, including in terms of humanitarian or defense assistance, sanctions is not without cost. But I think we are all agreed that it is worth it. And finally, of course, to underline our full solidarity with Ukraine and the people of Ukraine in your moment of historic challenge. We are with you, and we will continue to be with you.
Thank you, Minister, for convening us today. Ambassador Shkrufov, once again, we are here to express our full solidarity support to you, to your people. While we speak, President Zelensky is speaking in front of the European Parliament at the presence of President Michel, President von der Leyen, and High Representative Vice President Borrell, in a full chamber of all EU parliamentarians supporting him in his virtual address. As you know, the EU has already condemned in the strongest possible term Russian Federation unprovoked and justified military aggression against Ukraine, in gross violation of international law and the principle of UN Charter, at the same time undermining European and global security and safety. And the EU has been relentlessly working with the entire international community to join forces and help to end Russian military aggression by adopting the related resolution. And here we want to particularly applaud and thank Albania as a UN Security Council member for its crucial role playing in this context. You all know that the European Union has adopted an unprecedented, the biggest ever package of measures as sanctions is in history, and I'm personally proud that this is helping already now to support Ukraine and its people. Sanctions and measures ranging from financing the purchase and delivery of weapons and military equipment to support Ukraine defense, to freezing assets and banning transactions to weaken Russia's ability to finance this unjust war. Again, we commend and applaud Albania for its strong political stance in condemning immediately Russia's aggression, but at the same time fully aligning with all EU decisions, including sanctions, from the first to the last one this morning, and for being therefore a truly reliable partner in these difficult times. We will continue to coordinate with our strategic partners around the table and around the world to make sure that this horrifying attack on a free and sovereign country will stop. And looking forward to the incoming times when other emergency can arise, like the displacement of Ukrainian citizens inside the country and in the neighbored EU member states. You might know that the European Commission is considering to apply the Temporary Protection Directive, which was adopted by the Council in the aftermath of 2001 wars in this region and never used, which would allow, if adopted tomorrow by the Council of Justice and Interior Minister of the EU member states, full protection for Albania, for Ukrainian citizens up to 3 years in any member or states of the European Union. To this end, the High Representative Vice President Borrell and Commissioner Varela are traveling tonight to the Moldova border themselves to see the situation and report back to the Council tomorrow. Once again, I want to, on one side, express again the solidarity and support of the EU to you, Volodymyr, and to you, Minister, for a great and rapid reaction of Albania to align with the EU family.